I'm sorry. That's the place to start, with a genuine apology straight from the heart. It's really easy to sit back and pretend that a bunch of things have happened to me. To put the blame elsewhere. To say, it's because of this and this and this and this. But it's much harder to take responsibility. Even for the things that I might not have been truly responsible for. But for those two, I'll bear those two. I'm sorry. Let's back up. Over the past months, I've been absent. I haven't been making videos. I haven't been doing what I've said that I would do. I haven't been following through. And for that, I'm sorry. I've been really weak. And it's very tempting, exceptionally tempting, and even easy, and even maybe true, to put the blame elsewhere. To say that it's because of things that have happened to me that I've been weak. To say that it's because of the copyright strikes. Or to say that it's because of the injuries. Or to say that it's because of the cancer. And it would be so easy to just leave it there, to self-justify, to produce that backward logic, to allow for all of that to self-soothe, to comfort the human and go, no, buddy, it's okay. But it's not. The truth is, I've been weak. And I mean, I've been physically weak, but also I've been weak. I'm weaker than I thought. Not a master, not a mastermind. And genius though I might be, and believing in that I might be, there is nothing so common in this world as unfulfilled genius. So what's happened? Well, I've been scared. I mean, I've been really scared. I got really freaked out. So I took a blow, a literal blow, and a real one, which was the copyright stuff, which is meant not having access to the channel. But that's sort of a thin excuse. If I wanted to, I could make these videos and I could upload them elsewhere and I could keep going and I could make this make me stronger, you know? And I haven't been doing that. I sort of let it knock me down. I sort of wanted to be knocked down. I sort of needed to be knocked down. And I needed a break. You know, I haven't had a break for years. But that's sort of neither here nor there. A lot of people don't get breaks. A lot of people live fucked up lives, getting destroyed by themselves and by others. And, I've been on a path that's not that far away from that. Self-justifying. A little slimy. And I haven't liked myself very much. For a while. But I put on this shell and this armor of like, no, I'm doing the right thing. No, this is the way. And I sort of doubled down on a lot of it. I'll fight for this until I die. This is the hill that I'll die on. Yeah. Kinda lame, honestly. Kinda thin. Kinda Dunning-Kruger-y. Like, you haven't really figured it out, man. But I did this to me. I mean, I really did this to me. So, here's Here's what's up. My first round of biopsies came back. Non-cancerous. I sat there in the room with the PA, the physician's assistant, and I sat there kind of in shock because I had geared myself up for like the 2 weeks that I'd spent waiting and the months before that and the year or so that I've been watching these things grow across my arms. And the whole time I've been preparing myself for death, essentially. And it's not there. It's like when you wind up to kick a soccer ball and you miss the ball and you kick real hard and that's what hurts you more than actually kicking the thing. Or yeah. But I learned some things over the process. And one of the things that I learned is that if you believe you're dying, you will be. I mean, really. Your will is so strong that that kind of a belief, that kind of thought, doesn't just creep in, it really consumes you and it makes itself true. Wow. So then that forces me to ask the question. The kind of obvious question. If believing you're dying makes it true, does believing you're living make that true too? And I don't know yet. But I've caused a lot of harm to myself in the last couple of months. I've overused drugs and self-justified them. Justified my use in all sorts of ways. I've physically hurt myself in the pursuit of that process of find a wall and push up against it so hard that you break. Well, there are walls that are too big to push against, and there are weights that are too big to push against. And if you get arrogant in the gym, you can really hurt yourself, and I think I really hurt myself without even knowing it, you know? I sort of expected that an injury in the gym would happen like snap and then I'd know, right? That's what we get depictions of when we talk about gym injuries, and you get bicep tears and people's muscles falling off the bone and stuff breaking, and that's one type of injury, but there's another type. So over a couple of weeks, I started pursuing squats to failure, like really to failure. Full deep squats, deeper than deep. I had produced a lot of flexibility in my hips, further than I had than I should have probably, and further than I was strong in. And then I pushed the limits of my physical capacity to carry and press weight under load in that range of motion. So I would go for a set of squats, and the last set I would go till failure. Heavy squats, 280 pounds, 260 pounds, wherever I was at the time. Couple 100 pounds, double my body weight, easy. Not easy. Put it on the back, squat it, get 4, get 5, get 6, and then the 7th one, drop down and then push against it until there's nothing left, and then fail. Great. Great for muscle growth. Terrible for your tendons and general well-being. I literally tore myself out of alignment. Everything in the way that my hips attach to my pelvis, that my pelvic floor holds itself together, my transverse abdominis, the big flat muscle that holds your guts in. I pulled a dozen things in a dozen ways, and none of them hurt until later. And even then, it wasn't really pain. It was more like, well, suddenly just I couldn't breathe. And I've gone and I've seen chiropractors and gotten ripped off. And I've gone and seen massage therapists and they pushed on my soft tissue a bit, and it didn't do much. And I discovered that the physical therapy profession is filled with the blind leading the blind. And I tried to fix this shit in a million different ways. I've had to go back to basics and learn how to walk. I mean, teach myself how to walk. I've been going and walking to the park that's down by my house every day, and walking across the grassy fields, literally like shuffling like I'm 80. Little shuffling steps, carefully engaging my hips and picking up each foot and putting them down, and taking step by step, and feeling like as much of a fool as I actually am. You know, a few months ago I was reveling and basking in the incredible body that I was building. Like, wow, this is fucking awesome. And it can all just like that. And it would be so easy to say, well, it was this or that external thing that caused these problems that led me down this path that blah, 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 blah. I got misinformation from some guy who was talking about a thing. No. It's my own damned arrogance. It's my own damn pride. My own damn foolishness. My own inner child. So, it's tempting to come back as I'm about to get my channel back, because I'm about to get the channel back, and to bring a wall of excuses, because I got an ocean of them, and a lot of them are legitimate. But instead, what I'll say is, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all of you if I've let you down. And I'm sorry to myself, because I've let me down. And there go the tears. And they're deserved. I've caused myself a lot of unnecessary pain over the past months. I wrapped myself up in some arrogant ideas about who I was and what I would do. How important my little mission is. How crucial the oaths that I've sworn were. I made some real mistakes. And they're nobody's fault but my own. And they're nobody's fault but my own. I just did it wrong. I promised in a previous video that I would try to demonstrate some more of the process of climbing out of the pit. Because I've been in a pit. I've been back into it. Down into the depression. And part of that is being decoupled from work and from schedule and all that stuff. And I don't know how to rebuild that. It's like I can look back at the person that I was 6 months ago, and there are pieces of him that I despise, and there are pieces of him that I admire, and I don't know how to reacquire the things that I admire without reigniting the fire of the things that I don't desire. My own ire. It feels like I'm walking on a wire and I'm tired. of being tired, of being tired, of being tired. But I'm also ready. I'm also fucking ready. There's more to this world than my own fear. There's more to life than self-hatred or self-doubt. So I'm going to get up and open my mouth and see what comes out. Over the last couple months, I've been incorporating lyrics. Don't know why. It's like what I did years ago when I was consuming anime before it started to spill out from me. But I've been incorporating lyrics, listening to rappers, listening to thinkers, listening to music. And in the last 2 days, it's begun spilling out. I woke up this morning with rhymes in my mouth that I was inspired to get out of bed by the need to find a place to write them down in order to express. That's different from where I was before. I don't know what changed. I think I know what changed. I quit weed. I'm 5 days in now. It's still tempting. I walked by the box that contains all the paraphernalia, and it felt like it was pulling me in, reaching out with gravitational tendrils, like, hey man, remember? I'm your friend. I'm your friend. It's not my friend. It's not my friend. It's a Band-Aid. A soothing blanket. A comfortable absence of thought. A nice fog to reside in for a while, where you don't have to think about, well, the psychological pain of existence as a person who isn't living up to his own potential. That's what it does for me. To me. For me. It lets me pretend that I'm okay being the way that I am. And I'm not. But it's so much easier to stay in the same place, to stagnate, and to smoke another bowl than it is to get up and shuffle down the damn street to the stupid fucking park and walk around on the beautiful grass and let the sun stream into my eyes and watch as people throw frisbees back and forth. And you know, the park by my house is it's a full disc golf course. 18 holes in all, I think. And dozens of people go through that course every day. Dozens of them. Out there playing a made-up game of throw a plastic disc into a basket. Insane. But they're out there in nature and walking around, and that's a damn sight better than I was doing a week ago. Because I was laying in my bed going, oh, I can't breathe. And I couldn't. And it hurt. Hurt a lot. I cannot express to you. You know the feeling after you run or you do some strenuous exercise and you like, and you can't catch your breath? I was in that permanently, like all the time, and it felt like it would never go away. And when the answer to a lot of the psychological stuff is to move your body and to breathe, to perform breathing exercises, physiological size, meditation, sit in seiza, sit in lotus, and you can't manipulate your legs to sit cross-legged properly, can't find a comfortable way to lay down, can't exist without discomfort. God. Oh, it becomes a challenge. And I did it to myself. And it's so tempting to look at the weights and go like, it's the iron's fault. Yeah, that's it, man. It's the weight's fault. It's the gym's fault. It's the gym owner's fault. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. For real. But it's not. I did it. I hurt me. So I learned that there are consequences. And I learned to move slowly. I heard a song the other day. It's a video. You should go and watch it, listen to it. It's called High Ren by Ren. R-E-N, Ren. It's about 9 minutes long. And it expressed precisely, on the money, the same feeling that I have. And when you scroll down into the comments of that song, what you find are hundreds and hundreds of people expressing exactly that. Hi, Ren, I'm 38 and I've got PTSD and I've never been able to express it and nobody understands it and you just expressed it the way that it feels to be at battle with yourself. Hi, Ren, I'm 65. Blah, 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 blah. Hundreds of people. And I'm among them. It spoke to me. It let me crystallize and clarify the feelings that I've been feeling. The way that I've been fighting against myself, my own tendency to sin. Again and again and again. So I've been taking some time to be quiet. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to remind myself that there's more to life than just being ill. I've been taking some time to just listen. I've been taking some time to observe. I've been taking some time in the kitchen because there's something important about serving others, about creating with no purpose but to give. It's really easy to self-justify. It's really easy to point fingers and blame anything but you. Hell, circumstances, the world, entropy, chaos, Satan, suffering, evil. It's much harder to point that finger within and say, the root of darkness is not outside my mind. It's within. The thing that's hurt me hasn't been someone else. Hasn't been the uncaring world of nature. Hasn't been gravity. Hasn't been iron. Hasn't been. It's been me. My own desires. My own wants. Not the temptations. not the things outside me that are so bright and shiny. It's not their fault. It's mine. So I'm sorry. And that is the first step to getting out. Because once you say what you've done wrong, and you own it, you say to yourself that you're responsible for it, and that you're capable of controlling it, of changing it, of shaping it, of making it into who you want to be. Sacrifice and pushing against the pain works, but not all pain should be pushed into. And not everything that seems like a worthy sacrifice is. And your judgment, my judgment as a human being, is flawed. And then, once you've taken the steps to follow the flawed judgment, the tendency is to look back and say, no, I meant to do that. This was what I wanted all along. It's like I had a thought the other night. I think I have a different definition of success than most people. But I questioned it last night. I wonder, did I create that definition of success and then pursue the mode of being that led to it? Or did I pursue what was expedient and justify it in reverse to claim that what I am already doing is what I consider success? It's a tough question. So, let me be slightly more specific. I don't make a lot of money. I mean, I really don't make a lot of money. And if anyone asks me about it, I'll say, well, making a lot of money isn't my definition of success. And it isn't. I don't want to own fast cars and big mansions and all that shit. I'll say. But it's unclear to me whether that's true, or whether it's just that I've used it as a tool to justify my own lack of effort in directions that might lead to actual success. I think it's beyond important, fundamentally, that you generate your own definition of success and then try to live to it. But I think it's deeply tempting to simply look at where you are, warts and all, and say, no, this is where I want to be. This is where I was aiming for. So, sin is missing the mark, right? That's what sin means. It's to pull back the arrow and miss, is the Greek word for sin. Sin is missing the mark. A humble human pulls back the arrow, fires, misses the mark, and goes, I've missed the mark. I was aiming for the bullseye and I've missed it. A prick, a youth, a fool, a prideful human, pulls back the arrow, fires. It sinks its way into the ground 30 paces away from the target, and they go, look, precisely what I was aiming for. Indeed, that was the spot that I was aiming for all along. And when questioned about it, they'll go, no, seriously. I wasn't looking at the bullseye over there. I was aiming for the mark over there. It's what I was aiming for. I wanted that. I didn't miss. I hit the target that you didn't think I was aiming for. How much do I do that in my own life? Too much. Too much. So I have to reevaluate. Have to reevaluate it all. I don't have cancer. I'm not dying faster than everybody else. I'm actually pretty healthy. And that should be a relief. But it's not. In a weird, twisted way, I wanted to be a martyr. Or something. I wanted to be special. Or something. To experience enough real suffering to justify, well, my lack of effort. But it wouldn't justify it anyway. Because there are dying people who get up every day and go work in soup kitchens. There are dying people who get up every day and slave away at jobs they hate to put food on plates for the kids they made. And there's endless pain in the world. Endless. As much as you want. As much as you want to see or find, you can find it. You can find it. And it's a lot easier to be a part of it. Another suffering victim. Another one of the masses of pleading, begging peasants pulling at the hems of the robes of... I'm thinking of a scene. There's a scene in the 6-hour epic series from 1970, whatever, Jesus of Nazareth, where he's walking through and hundreds of extras. They got so many people for this film. It's incredible, honestly. An incredible piece of cinematography. But hundreds of beggars and lepers and broken, sick, distraught people chasing after him, begging for help. It's so easy to be one of them. To sit by the side of the road asking, hoping, waiting for somebody to do something to change your life. And it's so much harder to be the kind of person who reaches out and pulls up others. And, well, that's the point, I think. Is to try to find the outcast, beggar, victim, child within you and recognize it for what it is. A parasitic cancer in the spirit, not the body, that begs for assistance, that demands love from the world before it has shown love to the world. Give first. Expect in return nothing. Give first. Expect in return nothing. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry for my own foolishness. I really have been a fool. I'm sorry for my absence. I'm sorry for my lack of effort. I'm sorry for my begging. I'm sorry that I haven't done enough yet. I'm sorry that I convinced myself that I was dying and began to die. I'm sorry that I couldn't stop justifying, telling little lies. Being is good. I'm sorry for not being as good as I should. And having said all my sorries, having made my confessions, I really, really hope that I remember this lesson, because it seems really important and so easy to forget. I'm sorry. I love you. Don't live in regret. Much love. Much love. Much love. Given freely. Thank you for being. See you soon.